Hi, I'm Justin Van Buren. I'm part of your account team at Intel that works with Google Cloud, and I'm all about helping you guys be successful closing your revenue in Google Cloud on Intel-based technology. So thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Intel Performance Optimization Center of Excellence with Google Cloud. I'm looking forward to you guys learning more and hopefully engaging the program. So what you'll learn today is an overview and really go through, and I'll go through what is the Center of Excellence. Next, go through a timeline and how to engage your customer with the Center of Excellence, as well as next steps. So let's get started. So first things first, what is that? What is the Intel Performance Optimization Center of Excellence? And so first things first, it's all about taking an end customer's code and ensuring that that code runs as efficiently in Google Cloud on Intel-based instances. And we predominantly do that through techniques such as benchmarking as well as code optimization, where we bring a lot of Intel subject matter expertise to enable that. Through the Center of Excellence, you work directly with Intel engineers in a white glove fashion, where we're very high touch, and it's all about enabling the customer to have the best and most efficient means by which to run their code on Intel-based instances in Google Cloud. And last but not least, this is all about countering, one way the program can be used is to counter AWS Graviton, where instead of the customer going through a nefarious refactoring to Graviton, they can instead optimize the performance in Google Cloud, and we keep them here growing and thriving in Google Cloud. And so as you can see in 2021, we had a very successful pilot phase where we got some very large select and corporate and enterprise customers to run through the program across a variety of workloads that I'll talk about shortly. And one of the notable things is that we got a fairly large first win with BigCommerce, where because of the program, we helped the account team there close a $40 million total contract value commit. And also in the process, strengthen the relationship with the customer, as well as achieve the CTO's objectives around price performance, as well as addressing his latency SLAs. And then going into 2022, what we plan to do is expand this program to 20, 25 to 50 accounts, focus on a lot of customers that use open source, especially cloud native SaaS companies, as well as Google Cloud Select and corporate accounts, and also engage customers, not just in North America, but also in EMEA and APJ. So you're asking yourself, where does Intel have workload expertise, and what are some common workload examples that would be interesting for my customer? Well, first and foremost, here's a list of workloads that we have expertise in and a lot of subject matter experts. First and foremost is AI inference, where you probably don't know it, but Intel actually has instructions that speed AI inference dramatically. In some cases, upwards of 2.8x. And so these AI inference workloads, whether they're recommendation models such as ad ranking, natural language processing, visual recognitions, we have a lot of expertise to speed those up. Media is another one, transcoding, coding, where essentially we enable customers to use Intel libraries and optimize the efficiency of that code. Now, one way they do that is they use AVX 512 instructions, which are in most Intel-based instances in Google Cloud. Intel also has a lot of expertise with open source analytics, such as Spark when used in Compute Engine or in Dataproc, and we have something called Optimize Analytics package that really helps speed up data mining and processing of data. For databases, Intel has a lot of expertise with open source databases such as Redis, such as Cassandra. And one common issue that comes up is where there's unacceptable latency issues at peak loads, and Intel knows how to analyze those scenarios and provide recommendations around instances as well as software configurations to get around some of those latency issues. In terms of web processing, web transactions, and having that be secure, Intel has a lot of expertise where in our latest processors, we actually have some crypto instructions that really help speed cryptography and encryption. And by taking advantage of those instructions with things like Nginx, WordPress, and other applications, we could really help reduce that encryption and cryptography burden. In some cases, for the overall workload, by reducing that, it helps bring down that burden by 20 to 30%. And also, obviously, Intel has expertise with language runtime libraries. And so, as mentioned, we have a lot of expertise. And so in the CoE, here's some examples in the pilot phase where we went through. We helped speed up inference for ad ranking algorithms on C2 standard 60 instances by, in some cases, 100%. As mentioned, in the database scenario with Redis, we reduced latency, increased throughput by 30%. And then in one scenario with the video publisher, helped increase their transcoding pipelines by 2x to 7x. So, last but not least, what I also wanted to mention is we have some testimonials that really attest to the value of this program that you could see from Sean and Ryan here. And it's really all about helping enhance that customer code, which is many times the customer's most valuable asset. And then where that's important for you guys is once you help them realize value, they do that next commit, and you guys win that next large contract. And that's where Sean and Ryan and their testimonials really attest to that. So next, I want to talk to, hey, what's that timeline and how do you engage? You know, first and foremost, as you're doing right now, familiarize yourself with the program. And then once you've done that, there's a pre-qualification form where we want you guys to really fill that out such that before we engage the customer, Intel learns a little bit more about the end customer's code, some of their SLAs, some of their performance issues. And from there, Intel will either approve or come back with more questions. But once we approve after the pre-qual form, we go to the customer pitch. We look to recruit the end customer. And then from there, we go to discovery questionnaire and a discovery phase where essentially that's where we get really into the nitty gritty with working with the end customer. And so in the discovery questionnaire, we ask things around the customer's architecture. We ask them their SLAs, their success metrics, as well as even things such as how to work with Intel, as well as how to share things such as their data sets and proxy code that will enable successful engagement. Once we've gone through that discovery phase, we go to the analysis phase where essentially Intel will baseline performance, do some baselining and benchmark in Google Cloud. We will also take the proxy code and analyze code, tune it, and eventually provide recommendations that then are delivered in a custom report after we go through that analysis phase. And one thing I wanted to say here is Intel is very vested in enabling implementation. So many times implementations actually after that report where we work with the customer to enable implementation of the recommendations. And then last but not least, we want the customer to go through a case study. So, next steps. So there's a Go link here on this webpage where within your intranet, there's more assets. You can learn more, as well as here are some contacts of Googlers who help run the program or help run our partnership with Intel. They have a wealth of information and can talk you through how to engage. On top of that, you can reach out to someone like myself, and if you have any questions, please reach out. If you need a technical contact from Intel, I can also help provide that such that you're comfortable engaging the program. From there, you fill out a pre-qualification form that I talked about, where essentially we learn more. And the important thing for Intel is that we say yes when we think we can add value from a technical standpoint. And there's a bit of business criteria we look at. And then from there, we're off to the running where we approve it. And then we schedule that kickoff customer pitch section. So guys, thank you for taking the time to listen to my pitch here at Accelerate 2022. Really looking forward to engaging you and your customer as part of this CoE program. Thank you for taking the time to listen.